focus on the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I got another calm watch list for you. Yes, I know. You want the energy back, baby. We could bring it back at any moment. I'm telling you, everything in the market is exciting right now, but like, honestly, I said it on stream, bro. I'm just feeling very peaceful. You're getting hippie Josh right now, but with everything going on, man, I don't know. It kind of feels calming as much as it feels exciting, but there's a lot of stuff that we want to go over. I want to make sure I communicate it effectively to you. I want to make sure you guys pick up on it. And overall, I mean, we've already seen a lot so far, and it's like, I don't know. What's the point of even getting overreacting? Honestly, I come with the energy every day, baby. Okay, anyways, but all that being said, we got to talk about the chip stocks. I have a big warning for you, and I'm not the only person saying it. It was actually from the companies themselves. We got to hear from Intel in the morning, and they said this quarter is not going how they expected. So we got a little bit of that. We even heard from AMD and Neo and all of that. I did make a play on AMD, and this is what we're going to have to talk about here. I want to kind of go over my plan. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, it was another calm video, but what we discussed was very important, and I just hope you pick up on it. Right now with the Japanese yen and the 10-year bond yield, if this continues, it is going to be very key. So we do have the CPI on Friday. We got the Fed the next week after that, and that's something to keep in mind. But like I've been saying, we got to find that window to make a good play. And really, my idea was maybe I scale in a little bit instead of going all in or all out. And then that way, as we get closer in the window, we can narrow things down and go from there. And I'm willing to take the risk. So we're going to cover that. I got the recap for today, and then everything we're pretty much looking at for tomorrow. But chances are it's all going to get pushed till Friday. Tomorrow might be chilling. If you haven't noticed, the volume has been absolute. So why does it save the energy? You see, that's what I'm saying. It's peace, woosah, bro. We out here, man. We chilling. So let's get into it. Today, absolutely wild. Just given the amount of news and how it shifted, pretty much we started with a gap down, popped up a little bit, and then by middle of the day, we started selling off. And really, it started with the chip makers and companies. There was a Bloomberg tech conference, and you heard from Amazon CEO, you heard from Spotify, Uber, MasterCard. A bunch of people were out there talking, and that had an effect. You saw Uber and a couple of others in the morning, and then that was really, really good. And then on top of that, we also had China, and the China stocks, they were issued permits. So in China, they issued permits to the tech companies to like come out with new games, and pretty much the exact opposite of all of the crackdown stuff, and people took that positive. Even BABA throughout the day, even as we were coming into the lows, it was surging. But every single China stock, especially the China tech stocks, they all did absolutely amazing. So that was good. And then there wasn't really any economic data. So that's kind of how we opened. Things were going good for the most part. But then by the middle of the day, as we started going down, there was two things. First, it was the SEC, and they started talking about this proposal and vote, and we brought this up. This would pretty much get rid of Robinhood, Webull, and a bunch of people. It would eliminate payment for order flow, and it is like a system-wide restructuring of how orders are processed. So I talked about this. It sounds good in theory, but I feel like there's going to be an unforeseen consequence that may end up being negative. But people are talking about this, and it had such a big effect because they're literally talking about rewiring all of the market dynamics on the internal. So that was very big. Stuff started to get a little bit salty around there. You even had an LNG explosion middle of the day. LNG was up, and then it started dropping very big, and it seems counterintuitive. We were talking about this, like, why would LNG go down, or why would UNG, natural gas, go down if we had an explosion? You would think less supply would make the price go up. Well, actually, since they export a lot of it, that would increase domestic supply if there was an explosion and they can't export, and then the price dropped. But that one was absolutely wild. But now here's the final thing. By the end of the day, Oil still kept going up. It still held. And that was the final piece because it was creeping up throughout the day and people were talking about it as the tech stocks kind of faded a little bit and everything started to go negative. Energy was the only thing that was positive, but people were saying, hey, maybe we should be worried about inflation again if oil is going up and up and up and keeps getting to these higher prices. Now, this is the best part. We are pretty much playing economic whack-a-mole. You know, whack-a-mole, you hit one down and then the other one comes up. Well, what happened? We knocked down the China whack-a-mole and we're like, okay, no more supply-side inflation. That whack-a-mole went down. Everybody was excited, but then China's going to be buying oil again, and then oil starts going up near the highs, and now you hit down the supply side, and then boom, comes up oil and inflation, and now people are worried about that again. Again, that's what we're going to be playing with this CPI and the Fed. It's just one issue goes down, another one comes up, and we're going to play this until we get real clarity. So that was the big deal about today. Again, macroeconomic whack-a-mole, SEC, oil, and then you heard a lot of guidance in the chip makers. Now, this is something I want to talk about. One, the Intel news was there. You also had the Neo stuff, but if you've been listening, we brought this up the other day, and even on the video talking about the peak of oil and even seeing some level of deflation, I even related the cost of lumber. Well, here's one thing, and people have been using this as an inflation gauge. It is the price of semiconductors, and they have actually been going down. So now, after we're getting some of these earnings, you get Intel saying it's not going as expected. A couple of things here and there. Go look at any of the chip stocks. They still have a lot of meat on the bone, and that's where I was like, well, maybe we could get something, or at the very least, I could use this to scale into some of the downside positions if the 10-year keeps going crazy and if the Japanese yen keeps rising up. So this is what I started with, but what I'm trying to say now, chip makers are already declining. It's already been an inflation gauge, and this is one of those things that ran excessively in price. People wanted it, but if the price goes crazy and depending on how things play out, any sort of weakness, they could probably see the biggest amount of deflation. So I'm not fully confident on this, but with that warning and as we get into next quarter, here's the thing. Target yesterday, Intel today. Just don't forget this. As we get into the next set of earnings in the next 2 months, the big risk is any guidance. Yeah, we got out of the last earnings season, but if they come back and any of these companies that did good guide down, or we get any more consumer issues, we are going to have a problem. So that's the main gist of it. As far as the plays now, baby, let us get into the plays. What, babe? Come on, wake up. Wait, I'm telling you, bro. This is a lot of fun, honestly. You know that? I have fun with you guys, and I feel like now you don't even know what emotion to expect, son. What's up? Anyways, but let's talk about the plays. I went with AMD, and I went with the short share strategy, and I got a lot of insurance on the call side. So remember, we've been doing this the last couple weeks. Pretty much it hasn't worked out twice. I'm still down $3,000 on Costco, and then we took about a $200 and something loss off of eBay. Thankfully, we had insurance, better insurance on that one, and I went above and beyond, but I sold it early. But those two didn't work. The rest of them, I think we did 4 or 5 other ones. They have all hit. It's been nice. Again, we closed even the Pinduoduo. We could have made another $1,000 on that one, but hey, what's yours is yours. But this is the strategy. Again, it's been decent. You just got to know the risk, and this is what we did here. I shorted 100 shares of AMD at 101.70, and then I bought 3 of the 135 calls for August, and literally, what am I doing? I'm shorting the shares, and by buying calls, again, one contract equals 100 shares, it is allowing me to cap the max loss on a short position. So pretty much on that 100 shares, if it goes to 135 and stays there, I will lose $3,500. Now, I bought more than one contract, and this is what we did on one of the plays. There was 2 plays where I shorted it at the very bottom at literally the worst possible time to short it, and then the stock ripped up, and we still walked away with a very good profit, and that's because of the insurance. So by getting 3 contracts, if it did rip to 135 even above, chances are we would probably make more money on the contract, and this one has time. But this is my idea now where, like I'm saying, and this is what I'm going to be doing. If I want to go after this window, I think the chip makers have specific news. I am going to be looking for other stuff down the road, but I'm pretty much thinking every other day, if I could find a decent play with a decent risk reward, I could scale in from there. So in this case, most I'm going to lose, like worst case scenario, by August, the stock stays at 135. It stays there, doesn't go above it. I would lose about $3,500 and then about $450 from the insurance. So $3,900 max loss if it stays at 135. If it goes above 135, I will actually probably make money. And then anything below 135 that's above the 101 will lose. Anything below, we could get our money back. And for me to break even, since I spent $400 on the calls for the insurance, I would have to make $400 or $4 a share to pretty much break even. So that's the first play. Pretty much the only one I did today. I will be looking tomorrow for any other play that's similar like this, but I'm not going to force it. There's a couple industries. I forgot to mention the EU is going to be tomorrow, the ECB, and they're either going to raise rates or not. People don't know, but they will begin tapering their bonds before raising rates, so they may surprise. So I will be taking a look at any of the EWGs, anything related to Europe. That could be a good one. And then finally, watch Virtue and Robinhood. Again, the SEC news was big today, but this is what I want to show you. Look at this. It responded to the news twice. Remember, we heard about this yesterday. There was that little mini reaction, but then it did it again today. That is saying something. So depending on how this news plays out, again, just because the scope of changes is so large, I think it might be an interesting one, and that is definitely something I'm going to be keeping my eyes out. But those were the only other plays that I made. We're still holding the end phase. That's one I didn't get to talk about. I bought calls, or I bought this stock, and then I bought puts as insurance. So going for the upside, I'm still awaiting some of the solar stuff. If you saw that DQ, that one was China related. They did very, very good today. But that's pretty much going to be it, riding the wave. I want to see bank stocks as well. I keep mentioning them, but you'll notice today they really got killed. So this is one thing I want to see as we get into it. And for the CPI, I'm going to talk about this a lot more tomorrow once we get all the estimates from economists, but I'm kind of feeling a little bullish towards it. But if we get a surprise, I mean, some of this recent stability, it might go out the window. But very straightforward, very exciting. You could be calm and excited at the same time, baby. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, baby. Hell is if you don't know what you want, baby. So this ain't even that religious, bro. For real. Do you know what you want in life? Did you do what you did because you wanted to do it or because you didn't know what you wanted? Oh my gosh, Chad, let's go, baby. And now you see me. Now you get the hype, and I love it, baby. So God bless you. I'm going to see you in the morning, and let's go. You can save the energy and bring it out, and it's game time, baby. And that's why, and listen, it's like, and then now you see how things are going. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, it's easy to be calm, right? I'm telling you, the peace, bro. Especially if, bro, you feel guided, you feel protected. Do you feel blessed? Good. Then woosah with me. Here, we'll woosah the ending. Woosah, I'm going to go to the bathroom, or I'm going to drink water and not have yellow pee today. Oh, man, I'm relaxed. Life is good, bro. You don't do it. Watch, do it. All right, Chad, I love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to see you in the morning. Bye, bye, bye.